What's going on, Year 11 VCAL Numeracy students? If you hear that weird little noise, that's just my puppy right next to me yawning. This lesson, right, her name is Banks. So if you hear Banks in the background, make sure you say hi to her. Anyways, this video right here is dedicated to log 3 group data. Check your log sheet to see which questions you need to do in regards to this set work. This is taken straight out of the textbook. So this example right here, if you have the ability to copy this example into your exercise book, by all means you can. Alternatively, you can print it if you do have a printer. The textbook can be found in Compass and can also be found in Microsoft 365 in the team of Year 11 VCAL in the Files tab. So this example right here, we're just going to look at this first example and only example. The following scores were obtained for a test that measured intelligence. I'm assuming when they measure intelligence, they will give you a certain IQ of some sort. Okay. And with this test, a certain amount of people were asked, were given this test. We don't know what this total is. We have to figure this out manually. Sometimes a question will tell you what the total is. In other cases like this, they don't. Okay. So here are the test scores. If they got a test between 70 to 79, there were 9 people that got that test score. Between 80 to 89, 28. And this keeps going all the way to 130 to 139. So what we're going to do is we're going to prepare a relative frequency table. And then using that relative frequency table, we're going to find the percentage of students who scored less than 90 for the test. And also we're going to find 110 or more for the test. We need to fill out this table first. Okay, so this table that we have, that I have created, you will need to do the same thing. Okay. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 test score categories. And the reason why is because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that goes across here. And essentially all we're doing is we're taking this information here and we're just writing this in a vertical manner. Okay. So the first test score between 70 to 79. So from 70 to 79. That frequency, the amount of people that scored, yeah, 9. Same thing with 80 to 89. The amount of people that scored this is 28. Okay. I'm going to pause this video, I'm going to fill this out, and then I'll see you in a couple of seconds to show you how to work out the relative frequency and the frequency percentage, and then also answer these questions. Alright guys, I have just filled out that table right there, making sure that I have the test scores and their associated frequency amount. The total amount, all you need to do is simply add up the amounts there, and in this case when you add up all of these numbers, you will get the total of 200. You're more than welcome to use a calculator for that part. We cannot answer the relative frequency or fill out the relative frequency table without having to know the total amount. Without the total amount, this can't be done. To get the relative frequency, this is given as a decimal, and then using that decimal we can find the frequency percentage. The relative frequency is whatever the frequency amount is for that category, written as decimal with 9 being the top number, and this is going to be all over, this is going to be all over 200. When you put this into your calculator, you will need to convert this into a decimal. You would simply just use the SD button, and this ends up being 0.045. So 0.045. This is the relative frequency. To get the frequency percentage, you take the relative frequency, and to get this here, you get the relative frequency, and I'll just write it on the side. Take the relative frequency, and you just multiply this by 100. We're multiplying this decimal that we have here by 100. To do this easily, without having to use a calculator, you take the decimal point and you move it 2 spots to the right. So 4.5. You don't need to write percentage because there's a percentage within the table to indicate that. But that just means out of these 200 people, 4.5% scored an intelligence score of between 70 to 79. Okay. And all you have to do to get the relative frequency is get the top number as the frequency amount for that category, divided by the total amount, which in this case is 200, and get this as a decimal. Once you've got that decimal, you move the decimal 2 places to the right, and that will give you the frequency percentage. Again, I'm going to pause this video, fill this out, and you are going to also put this into your exercise book with the question and this table here. Alright, a little bit squished for space, unfortunately. When you fill this out, you don't have to put the fraction part there. I'm just showing you how this is worked out. But these are all the decimals that respond to the relative frequency. And again, to get the frequency percentage, you just take the relative frequency, which is here, and multiply it by 100, or in other words, move the decimal point twice to the right. In this case here, we have 14. This one here is 21.5, 31, 18.5, 7, and 3.5. When you get the total for the relative frequency amount, when you add these decimals up, you should essentially get 1. And when you move the decimal point to the right, you should get the total for the percentage as 100. Because all of this here counts for 100% of all these people, and it has to, because there's 200 people. When you add these all up, it is 200. So this relative frequency, the decimal point, should always equal 1. If you get some tricky total amount that's either an odd number or seems a bit irrational, you might get 0.999 depending on how many decimal places you round. Okay, because this is a nice even total of 200, you will get 1 in this case, and your frequency percentage rather, in this case will be 100. Or sometimes you might get 99.99. Again, that depends on your total. And that's all there is to it for putting this table down. We now have to answer the questions. So I'm going to leave a bit of space here, A and B. I'm just going to quickly move my webcam. And the 2 questions are: find the percentage of students who scored less than 90 for that test. Less than 90. So the percentage in this case for less than 90, if we have a look at this, less than 90 does not include this test score or anything above that. Anything less than 90. So this category here and this category here. And we're looking for the percentage. So all we have to do is get 4.5 and also get the 14, and they came from this number here and this number here. And this will give you the percentage of test scores less than 90. So in this case, this is going to equal 18.5%. In other words, 18.5% of people got an IQ test score less than 90. Question B, we're looking for the test scores 110 or more for this test score. So we're going to look for the first category that starts with 110, which is here. 110 or more is going to be this category, and above this category here, this category here, all added up, and specifically the percentages that are added up. So B is going to be, let's put it on here, B is going to be 18.5 plus 7 plus the 3.5. 18 8.5 plus 3.5 would be 19, 21, 22, 23, and 23.5 plus 7 is 30. Okay, and that is a percentage. Okay. Alright, now that is all there is to it for answering these questions. I knew that there was something that seemed a bit off with this answer. My arithmetic, oh my goodness. 29%. For yourself a maths teacher, Mr. Herman. 29% have been given a score of 110 or more for their IQ test. And that is all there is to it for group data. Use your log sheet to determine which questions you need to do. And that is it. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. See you soon.